Assalamu alaikum. I am Miss Aisha Abid from Army Public School and College, Khanewal. Today your class is 8, Subject Biology, Week 9th by AppSex Online Support Program. Topic is 1 and your teacher is Miss Aisha Abid. Our topic today will be Kingdom Classification System. Objective, we will be able to understand the concept of 2 kingdom, 3 and 5 kingdom classification systems. In our previous lectures, we have studied about biodiversity. Biodiversity, it is generally it is described as diversity among living organisms or variety among living organisms. So, in our today's lesson, we are going to discuss two kingdom classification system. Basically, two kingdom classification system, it is oldest system and it classifies all of the organisms that are existing in this planet into two basic categories or two main kingdoms. These include kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. According to it, all of the organisms that are existing in this planet, they can prepare who can prepare their own food from simple inorganic materials and hence they store energy. They are known as autotrophs and are included in the kingdom Plantae. On the other hand, the organism which cannot synthesize their own food, they depend on autotrophs or others uh, simple organisms. These are known as heterotrophs, and such organisms are included in kingdom Animalia. According to this system, bacteria and fungi, including algae, they were included in kingdom Plantae. Some of the taxonomists found this system unworkable because many unicellular organisms, such as Euglena, which have both plant-like and animal-like properties. In case of their plant-like properties, they contain chlorophyll, and if we consider them as animal-like properties, they are heterotrophic in their mode of nutrition when it is dark, and they obviously they lack cell wall, which is present in all the plants. So there should be a separate kingdom for such organisms. Hence, this is considered to be the demerit of two kingdom classification system. Two kingdom classification system also ignores the difference between organisms having prokaryotic cellular organizations and those which are having eukaryotic cellular organization. Let's make it a bit simple. In two kingdom classification systems, as the name suggests, scientists categorize organisms into two main groups. First group is Plantae. All of the green color organisms, green plants, are included in kingdom Plantae. They all are non-motile, they cannot move, they stay in one place and they perform photosynthesis in order to make their own food to survive. While the other kingdom, which is Animalia, all those organisms which are included in Animalia kingdom, they could walk and they eat by consuming different plants, different autotrophs, and hence they are considered as heterotrophs. So in two kingdom classification system, plants were considered as autotrophs as they synthesize their own food, and Animalia kingdom, they consist of all the organisms that cannot synthesize their own food and are considered to be heterotrophs. Now, if we take a look deeply into the details of both heterotrophic and autotrophic mode of nutrition, sunlight, phototrophic organisms that can undergo process of photosynthesis, hence called autotrophs, they use sunlight and they utilize carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and phosphorus, which are inorganic materials. They convert them into organic material, which is basically glucose and other such stuff, glucose, sucrose, and they hence the life cycle begins converting inorganic substances into organic ones. While if we consider the difference between both autotrophs and heterotrophs is that all those organisms that can utilize sunlight and make their own food, they are considered to be autotrophs, such as plants. While all those organisms that cannot undergo photosynthesis and they feed on the plants which are making their own food, they are considered to be heterotrophs because they consume food which is made by autotrophs. Now, if we take a look at the diagrammatic view of two kingdom classification system, we will come to know that all of the living organisms are categorized into kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. Some of the properties of kingdom Plantae properties are they are able to make their own food, they have cell wall around their cells, and they are sedentary, they cannot move. While in kingdom Animalia, they cannot make their own food. They have no cell wall around their cells, and they are motile. They can move from one place to another. So this is all about two kingdom classification system and its properties. Now let's look at the merits of two kingdom classification system, and we will be able to understand the reasons why two kingdom classification system was rejected. The exception was Euglena. This organism, it has both animal-like properties and plant-like properties. It is genus of more than 1,000 species of single-cell flagellated organism. Flagella is basically a whip-like structure or a whip-like appendage. You can see here this is known as flagella. It helps the organism, it helps the euglena to move around. They are generally the microorganism. They contain both plant and animal-like characteristics. Let's have a look at the and some animal-like characteristics is that they contain chloroplast. As we all know, plants contain chloroplast. In this organelle, photosynthesis is taking place. Another important feature of euglena is that it is not having any cell wall, which is a property of plant. Hence, another demerit of two kingdom classification system is that it it is not explaining the main difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic organisms, and there is no separate kingdom for euglena-like organisms which are having both characteristics of plants and animals as well. So that is about two kingdom classification system. Let's start three kingdom classification system. In 1866, Ernest Haeckel, he solved the first objection of two kingdom classification system and proposed a separate kingdom for euglena-like organisms. That kingdom was known as Protista. Protista, it accommodates euglena-like organisms, and Haeckel also included bacteria into kingdom Protista. In this system, fungi, they were still included in kingdom fungi in kingdom Plantae. This system did not clear the difference between prokaryotes and eukaryote as not expressed in two-kingdom classification system as well. Some biologists, they disagree about the position of fungi in kingdom Plantae. The reason is that fungi resembles plant in many ways, but it is not autotroph, because fungi is not undergoing any photosynthesis and it is depending upon other organism. Moreover, they are special form of heterotrophs that get their food by the process of absorption, while rest of heterotrophs, they get their food by the process known as ingestion, just like we humans do. They do not have cellulose in their cell wall, rather they possess chitin. Because fungi is specific organism which do not contain cellulose in its cell wall. It contains cell wall, hence scientists place it in kingdom Plantae. But the main material which is forming the cell wall is chitin, not the cellulose, which is present in all the heterotrophs. Let's make it simple. Three kingdom classification system, it was proposed by Ernest Haeckel in 1866. These three kingdoms were Protista, which is including unicellular organisms such as Euglena, bacteria, and kingdom Plantae, which will include all the plants of this planet, and kingdom Animalia, it is including all the animals in this planet. Now, according to three kingdom classification system, kingdom Protista include colonial eukaryotes, bacteria, algae, fungi, and protozoa. In kingdom Plantae, it includes multicellular photosynthetic plants which are undergoing process of photosynthesis and making their own food, hence known as autotrophs. While kingdom Animalia, it includes multicellular animals that are not able to make their own food, hence are grouped in the kingdom Animalia and called as heterotrophs. Now you can see Ernest Haeckel taking the classification system. The first is kingdom Protista, including euglena-like organisms, kingdom Animalia, including lions, sharks, monkeys, all the animals present on this planet, and kingdom Plantae, including all of the plants, including flowering and non-flowering plants as well. Now we will come to know about the demerits of three kingdom classification system and the reason why this system of classification was rejected. Fungi was placed in kingdom Plantae. Fungi, they are not autotrophs like plant. First objection. Second is that they do not contain cellulose in the cell wall. Rather, they contain chitin as a main component of cell wall. And third objection is that they are absorptive in their mode of nutrition, and which is unfamiliar to other animals which are ingestive in their mode of nutrition. Now that was all about three kingdom classification system. We will have a quick review about five kingdom classification system, what was the five kingdom classification system exactly? In 1937, E. Chatton suggested the term of prokaryote to describe bacteria and eukaryote to describe plants. In 1967, Robert Whittaker introduced a five kingdom classification system. This system was based on two major properties. The first is cellular organization and second, mode of nutrition. The levels of cellular organization include prokaryotic cellular organization, unicellular organization, and multicellular eukaryotic organization. Now, the principal mode of nutrition, they may be photosynthesis, it may be absorption, and it may be ingestion. On the basis of on these bases, organisms are classified into five kingdoms: Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. In 1988, Margulis and Schwartz modified the five kingdom classification system of Robert Whittaker. They considered genetics along with cellular organization and mode of nutrition in classification. They classified the organism into the same five kingdoms as proposed by Whittaker. Now, what is exactly the five kingdom classification system? This system places all of the organisms into one of the five basic kingdoms: Monera or prokaryote, Protista, as in three kingdom classification system. Fungi is placed in another kingdom, then Plantae, and then Animalia. So the basis of five kingdom classification system was levels of organization, which is unicellular, multicellular, or prokaryotic level of organization, and mode of nutrition, as we have already discussed, is that absorptive mode of nutrition, photosynthetic mode of nutrition, and ingestion. Let's have a look at this video to understand the concept of kingdom classification system.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the online tutorial presented by Your Own Biology Nowadays. In this video, I will be giving you an introduction on biological classification, the need of classification, and the history behind modern day classification systems. So let's start. The living world and the living organisms in it are so diverse. Here you can find tiny microscopic one-celled organisms as well as huge many-celled organisms. To study about each organism in detail, it will be easy if they can be classified into similar groups. Many attempts were made in the past to classify living organisms, but a classification on a scientific basis was first done by Aristotle, a Greek philosopher known as father of biology. This was in around 300 BC. As there were no microscopes during those days, he grouped organisms on the basis of simple morphological features. He divided plants on the basis of size of stem into herbs that have soft stem, shrubs having many stems that are a little stronger than that of herbs, and finally into trees that have a strong woody stem. Aristotle classified animals into a group with red blood and another group without red blood. There is an opinion that Aristotle divided animals on the basis of their habitat also. Habitat is the place where an organism lives. He divided animals into those which live in air, on land, and in water. Even though it had many problems, this classification was used for nearly 2000 years because no much progress was made in biology in those years. During 16th to 17th century, microscope was invented, and this was a big step in biology as it led to the discovery of cell and cell wall. Robert Hooke in 1665 discovered cell. In 1758, Carl Linnaeus introduced two-kingdom classification of living organisms. This Swedish scientist is considered to be the father of modern taxonomy. He was such a great botanist that he was called the Prince of Botanists. On the basis of the presence or absence of cell wall, he divided living organisms into two kingdoms: Kingdom Plantae and Kingdom Animalia. Living organisms with a cell wall around their cell or cells were grouped into Plantae, and living organisms having no cell wall around their cell or cells were grouped into Animalia. Very easy to understand and learn, right? But unfortunately, it also had some disadvantages. First point is that prokaryotic organisms such as bacteria and cyanobacteria were grouped along with eukaryotic organisms like plants. eukaryotic cell, for example, in the plant cell shown here, a true nucleus surrounded by a nuclear envelope or membrane is present. While in a prokaryotic cell, for example, in the bacterial cell shown here, a true nucleus and the nuclear membrane are absent. Still, they were grouped together in kingdom Plantae because cells of all these organisms have a cell wall. Also, unicellular organisms, that are organisms having only one cell like Chlamydomonas, and multicellular organisms, that is organisms having many cells, for example Spirogyra. Again, autotrophic organisms, that is organisms that can prepare their own food, for example green plants, and heterotrophic organisms, that is organisms that cannot prepare their own food, for example fungi, were grouped together in kingdom Plantae. And can you guess what was the reason? Because the cells of these organisms had a cell wall. So now you must have understood that in addition to the presence and absence of cell wall, there are many other factors to look on while classifying living organisms. Moreover, the fungi cell wall had chitin, while green plants, which belong to the same group in Linnaeus classification, had cellulose and hemicellulose in their cell walls. So, cell wall composition should also be considered. Another disadvantage of Linnaeus classification was that some protozoans like Euglena that possess characters of both plants and animals. That is, Euglena have chlorophyll in their chloroplast, and in the presence of sunlight they can prepare their own food. But in the absence of light, they become heterotrophic by absorbing nutrients from the surroundings. They were not classified as a separate group in Linnaeus classification system. Let's see a nice video from YouTube on the movement of Euglena. We can clearly see the flagellum which helps in its movement. Also note the green chloroplast in Euglena. So, to solve some of the problems in Linnaeus classification, Ernst Haeckel in 1866 proposed a third kingdom Protista, which included any microorganism that was not a plant nor an animal. But the problems were not solved completely. Later in the middle of 20th century, electron microscopes were developed which are capable of much higher magnifications than the light microscopes. This revealed the structure of each cell organelle in detail. So there was a need of newer classification system based on cell structure, that is whether prokaryotic or eukaryotic, cell wall composition, body or thallus organization, that is whether unicellular or multicellular, mode of nutrition, that is whether autotrophic or heterotrophic, and also based on phylogenetic relation, that is based on the evolutionary history of an organism. In 1969, Robert Harding Whittaker added two more kingdoms, Kingdom Monera and Kingdom Fungi, and he proposed a 5-kingdom classification considering all the criteria that we just saw. Kingdom Monera consisted of unicellular prokaryotes, Kingdom Protista consisted of unicellular eukaryotes, while kingdoms Fungi, Plantae and Animalia consisted of multicellular eukaryotes.
Alright, that was all for today's lecture. We have learned about 2-kingdom classification system, 3-kingdom classification system, and 5-kingdom classification systems as well. If you have any question, feel free to ask. Allah Hafiz.